All right, guys, thank you for your patience. Here we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to what could be our final match of the evening, or maybe not. We'll just have to wait and see. It's Vici Gaming, the new kids on the block in China, facing up against Rilimin. Kind of a hodgepodge ragtag band, formerly Famofu's Throws fan club, formerly Sequential Gaming. No more Famofu on this team, however. They just got crushed in Game 1. There was some shenanigans towards the end of the game, but all in all, it was just the CTY show from start to finish. Can Vici Gaming make it a clean 2-0 sweep, or will we go to a deciding Game 3? We'll find out soon. The winner of this best out of 3 will move on to face LGD International later this week, but before that'll happen, tomorrow we have to wrap up the final 2 matches of Round 1. I'm LDF Beyond the Summit. Of course, you're watching the G1 League made possible by 17173.com, and if you want to check out their website and support them, go to g1.2p.com. Myself, or rather, Beyond the Summit, not just me, but of course Luminous and Gods as well as AC and Valat, or the Starladder TV boys, are all casting this tournament, so lots of stream options for you on their website, and going there, watching the streams through their site directly supports them. Once again, with that plug out of the way, Lumi, how you doing?
I'm doing great after that long pause between Game 1 and Game 2. Vici Gaming, first pick, first ban, picks up a Lifestealer. I was very, very sure that they were going to go back to the Keeper of Light, but seems like we're going to see a little bit of different. CTY perhaps going to be playing Lifestealer here instead.
Yeah, going to start with the Lifestealer pick. Now, you know, maybe something that they run in that aggressive tri-lane, maybe we do see eventually the Shadow Fiend as sort of that 2 or 3 position Lifestealer, then maybe we do see the Shadow Fiend pick, the Lone Druid. Oh, not the Lone Druid as it gets banned here, but something else for CTY. We'll have to see, but of course, if anyone's going to play the Lifestealer, we do expect it will be CTY, and then they follow up with the Shadow Demon, and now the Sand King. So a strong, aggressive, dual roaming combo, and something they can run an aggressive tri-lane with, something they can defensive tri-lane with. Lots of options here for Vici Gaming.
Vici Gaming definitely loves their Sand King, and they always run it as a support. And I know your disdain about Silencer support. Same thing here. I really, really dislike Sand King support myself, but it seems to be working in the Vici Gaming and a couple of other Southern East Asian team. They run it as a support Sand King as well.
Well, I think the Sand King brings a little bit more though, because if you blow your Epicenter, that's okay. You still have multiple stuns throughout the team fight, but he is a support that needs a lot of levels, and if he gets shut down early, he doesn't offer much through the mid game. Needs some farm, needs some levels, but I would say sort of like a lesser case of Silencer, who's just the extreme example of useless if he doesn't have his ultimate after that 10-minute mark or so. But we'll see what they do. They can defensive try, in which case he could play that 4 role and get quite a bit of farm and levels. And, well, if they dual roam, Queen of Pain will die to this combo plus something else that provides a little bit of lockdown. So we'll see what the solo mid is going to be. We'll see how Vici Gaming want to run this, but starting with Lifestealer, it frees you up to do basically whatever you want with your 2 supports, because he doesn't really need that much backup, at least to get experience in lane.
Rio is going to be basically spreading the map completely open. All the global pushing you could ask for when you have Nature's Prophet, Keeper of Light Recall, and of course Queen of Pain. So if this game goes pretty late, and I'm talking about like 35, 40 minutes in, it's going to be very, very difficult for Vici Gaming to not only leave their base, but leave their base in a meaningful way, like taking down towers or even going for Raxus.
I'm feeling something like a Storm Spirit here for Vici Gaming, especially up against Nature's Prophet, Queen of Pain, Keeper of the Light. Such a good split pushing map. Best way to punish that, Storm Spirit, Lifestealer bombs. We'll see if they go for it. The Bat Rider, the other natural vehicle for the Lifestealer, is banned out, and, well, not something they have to go for. A little bit weak in the laning stage to hero like Queen of Pain, but you can kind of get around that by just throwing a gank or 2 her way. Maybe you pull your Storm Spirit a bit of extra regen, and I think in the mid game that combo would be devastating for Rilimin, who right now have 0 reliable stuns, unless you want to count Monolith. No way to really shut down a Storm, so that could be an option. Even something like Tinker wouldn't be too bad. It does a bit better in the laning stage versus Queen of Pain, but if I'm Vici Gaming, I think twice about going for some sort of very mobile global vehicle for the Lifestealer, like a Tinker, like a Storm.
Yeah, although with that said, though, Mana Leak is very, very annoying against Storm. When you're zipping, you don't lose the mana, but you know, a lot of times you're going to be walking around, you're going to be draining a lot of mana already. So there is a slight consideration against the Storm because of that, but no, I completely agree with you. You really want the mobility. Of course, a quick Orchid will shut down heroes like Queen of Pain early, give you those free kills basically on the support. So Storm would be a very, very good counter pick, but maybe Vichy Gaming's got another idea up in their sleeves, thinking about how to counter these kind of very, very globally mobile hero. Maybe a Wisp. We've seen the Chinese team run Wisp before, but it wasn't Vichy Gaming, so.
Yeah, something like a Wisp. I mean, a little bit weaker in the laning stage. It could. Well, no, they're going Night Stalker, so they're going for Immobile here. I think if they finish this with Storm, this is a pretty strong lineup, and they could run that Storm as their safe lane solo. Doesn't do too badly against Nature's Prophet at all. Not going to dominate the lane, but can get some levels, get some farm. You could aggressive trialing with the Lifesteal, throw your Night Stalker in mid, and their mid game is going to be ridiculous if they go that lineup. A little bit snowball-y, or snowball-oriented, a little bit of a lineup that, well, if they don't have a good start, could get shut down, but I think an option for them. As for Rilimin, what are they going to do? Queen of Pain does have the edge on Night Stalker mid, so that'll be a lane that likely goes their way. They pick the Wisp. Oh, interesting. So Queen of Pain, Nature's Prophet, Wisp. I imagine maybe something like a Chaos Knight, a Tiny here to kind of round out their draft.
Well, I mean, they have definitely had the lanes for another really big carry hero. I think Lifestealer would be pretty good. Bounty Hunter being picked up. I think this is more or less a pickup, but also kind of taking away from Rio, because if you give him the bounty, the track goals will be raining down. But CK Wisp is going to be the unstoppable force coming here from Rilimin.
I think the CK is the better pick. I mean, even if they had their hands on the Bounty Hunter, just because they had no initiating stuns whatsoever. This gives them one. I mean, sure, maybe Queen of Pain blinks into a tether stun. That's not reliable. That's liable to get your Queen of Pain killed. So I think this is probably the ideal pick for Rilimin. And now we're looking at a tri-lane that would normally be weak because it features a Wisp CK, not the strongest combo, but they have Keeper of the Light backing them up, so actually going to be pretty solid overall. And on that side, Rilimin, they're down one game. They're not out of it yet, but they got to bounce back here. They've gone Wisp. What can they do with it? Kux on that hard carry, playing that Chaos Knight, even though it's not really the biggest hard carry here in the game, but he's going to be playing that one position. Vodki as the Wisp, Sentry's picked up. Yumo had an interesting Queen of Pain game last game. Let's see what he does this time around. Lippy on that Keeper of the Light. Observers available for him. Looks like he'll be heading down bottom. And as for T-Duck, he's playing the Nature's Prophet. May end up just starting off in the jungle, as he will just be total food for this tri-lane.
Meanwhile, Vichy Gaming one win away from taking down Rilimin and advancing forward. FY will be playing the Shadow Demon. Finrod is going to be handling the Sanking. We have CTY going to be playing the Lifestealer. It looks like they're going to be doing a little bit of a defensive tri-lane. On the mid, it's going to be San Diego playing the Night Stalker. Quick bottle rush. And of course, last but not least, Bounty Hunter going up top, being handled by XTT.
So I imagine Vichy Gaming, they have this early smoke. They're going to see this lane is empty, and most likely once they see that, they'll go for a smoke gank. Probably not at level 1. I imagine we'll see them wait until level 3 once they have the Sankin level 2 Burrow Strike and Soul Catcher Disruption, and then either an extra point in those or some points of poison. That's where you could go mid, look to get an early kill on this Queen of Pain, and they'll have the burst damage, I think, with the Burrow Strike, the Void. If she's not a full HP, the Night Stalker can soften her up with a few Voids. So if I'm Vichy Gaming, I'm looking at that. Maybe you even bring your Bounty Hunter in if he's getting shut down top, which, well, do they have Sentry Wards? They do on Vodki, so potentially something where just send 4 heroes mid off the bat, sort of what Invictus Gaming was doing when they introduced the Face Rush lineup, the advent of the G1 League, was just send 4 heroes mid, crush the enemy solo, get the snowball rolling right away.
Yeah, and of course they don't really need, as we see Invis Root gets snapped up here by ST, so he's going to come on the mid lane. I think if San Diego gets his Fear on level 2, I mean, Fear, Shadow Demon, Burrow Strike, or Sanking Burrow Strike, and Avoid, they could definitely get that kill. And of course, Nature Prophet cannot actually challenge this lane at all. Lifestealer will be lasting away, but I like what they are doing here. They're giving Sanking some decent levels if he's not being pulled away. Nice pulling here by that very low HP hero treant. But yeah, Sanking getting some EXP, Shadow Demon providing the harassment, and making sure that Night Stalker gets that lane in control.
They wanted to go first blood, but Yumu wisely did not take a point in ability. Now he skills Blink, will just jump away. Had he gone for Shadow Strike, potentially a first blood right there. XTD didn't have the Janata slow, but I think might have been enough. It would have been close anyway, but takes Blink. We'll go back to safety, just showing off the importance of, like, I mean, this is still big for Night Stalker, though, because he gets the bottle basically unchallenged. Even though Yumu doesn't die, I would say worth it, especially since your Bounty Hunter not going to get a whole lot accomplished with Sentry Wards in this tri-lane. Up against CK Wisp, as well as Keeper of the Light. Actually, a tri-lane that can kill the Bounty Hunter at level 2 or 3, so I think worthwhile. Now with the bottle up on SYDM, he's going to have a much easier time in that mid lane, and Queen of Pain, with no Shadow Strike at level 1, going to have a hard time punishing him.
Yeah, here's my issue here. Trading tri-lane farm versus tri-lane farm is normally what we see in most pro games, but giving that tri-lane farm to a Wisp, or tri-lane EXP in this case, or that Wisp, is not something you want to do, because once the Wisp CK hits level 6, kills are going to be raining down all over the map, and what are you getting in return? A farm Sand King, a farm Shadow Demon. I'm not sure whether that's enough.
Well, let's see what happens as soon as that first nighttime hits. Maybe we'll see a big smoke gank from the supports, the Night Stalker rotate top. Wisp won't be 6 at that point, but the thing is they have Wisp Keeper of the Light, so they can kill these big stacks really quickly, and Cuck's just getting some additional pulls of his own. Nice job by XTT, though. He's going to force the lane back. He's going to hit level 3 off of this, so doing a good job of controlling that creep equilibrium, pulling the Radiant creeps into the big camp. He did stack it, which potentially will get Wisp a quick level 6, but the efficiency of the Wisp is also something to keep an eye on. If she doesn't hit a quick level 6, well, then suddenly it's not so scary, but in theory, basically unpressured, should be able to get level 6 by like the 8-9 minute mark, if all goes well.
Yeah, probably even sooner if they get a kill on that Bounty Hunter, which again, like you said, very, very killable in this particular lane if you have those sentries. They see him walking back in. Again, he wants to challenge these pulls. There's a relocate, there's going to be immediate stun. There is going to be a 1 second, bam, on top, illuminate with the kill, and there you go, Wisp getting some EXP.
Yeah, level 3 and a convenient little stack to be farmed by her as well as the Keep of the Light. Meanwhile, mid lane, Fenrir is rotating. This was the smoke gank we mentioned earlier, and what do you know? A haster in for San Diego. SYDM picking up that simple kill. And what we talked about was just the ability of these heroes to actually kill a hero like Queen of Pain mid. A lot of combos can't do it. Sand King, Shadow Demon, Night Stalker, a combo that definitely can, aided of course by that haster, but they get the counter kill mid, and well, giving the Wisp a good start, maybe not ideal, but at least they're slowing down this Queen of Pain.
Yeah, Queen of Pain's not going to be too big of a factor. Even if she gets enough farm, a single Fear of the Darkness, which is basically, or Crippling Fear, which just basically mean Queen of Pain won't be as impactful as he was. Switching up the skill build a little bit here, opting for a little bit more Queen of Pain, more standard, and a little bit better against the Night Stalker, as I think pushing the lane out is a little bit more of a priority.
XTT, not a whole lot doing for him top. He's going to head towards the top rune. Check that, and it will be a double damage. There's no vision right now for the Dire. And actually scout out Yumu if they can get off a nice Void Silence at the right moment. But he's got a ward bottom. He sees that there's already a rune picked up, so he knows the Bounty Hunter's probably picked something up, and he'll play defensively. So the CK Wisp being traded for Lifestealer Free Farm has started with Boots, not getting greedy and rushing a Midas. Really wants to jump into these fights early and have a bigger punch. We'll see if he goes back for something like a Midas, but so far not doing it yet. And XTT just lurking mid, but wisely, good positioning from Yumu. He knows this Bounty Hunter's off the map, and he's going to play it safe, so good map awareness from him.
Yeah, I don't think Midas is needed. You just want to get into the fray as much as possible, as quickly as possible. And Midas is not exactly a useful or helpful item in that. So, yeah, treads into drums, into armlet is probably the best build you could go for when you have that Wisp backup.
And also, especially worth noting is, yeah, like you said, the CK Wisp combo, you want to live through that initial chain stun so that you can pop your rage, so that you can infest a creep if you need to. And, well, Wisp is already level 4. We're going to see a very fast level 6 at the rate we're going. This is a lot to give away. I mean, normally we talk about Wisp as a hero that isn't that popular in the Asian scene because teams run such aggressive lanes, offensive tri-lanes with Keeper of the Light, offensive tri-lanes with heroes like Shadow Demon and Lina, but we're not really seeing that aggression in the top lane, and you gotta wonder, is this gonna come back to haunt Vici Gaming a little bit later on?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that's nice here for the Vici Gaming lineup is that they're so damn quick. I mean, Shrek, Night Stalker, they're moving fast like the wind, but I mean, relocate is global, so not much you can do about that.
I'm not sure if I agree with them pushing this early. I guess they're going to try and force 2, and we'll see if they go for it. If they only get 1, though, this won't be a good trade for them. Sentry Ward deployed in the lane, as they're going to get Bounty Hunter a lot of experience, but the Tier 1 going to fall pretty much unchecked. Arceus Knight actually opting for Phase Boots, not the power trades that we normally see. So good for your illusions later on, but just wants a little additional killing power in the first 5 to 10 minutes or so, and well, he'll have it. He will be moving very fast, especially with that tether move speed as well. Nighttime begins. San Diego, SYDM picking up that first rune. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Vici Gaming looking for a backstab here. T-Duck probably about to go down unless he gets back. And so far, he doesn't know about this.
He really does not, and Shadow Demon Disruption into Soul Catcher is going to be basically a free kill. Yep, nowhere you're making out there alive, and Here's a very easy combo. There's a teleportation scroll coming in. They're going to kill Finra very quickly, but it's going to be a Queen of Pain. Oh, trying to get that. Oh, does actually get the Sanking. Blinks back out, but that blink was so short. Looks like they're not going to chase down for it. Infest dodging it. Nicely done here by CTY.
Oh, they're still on the chase. There's no disruption for 5 seconds. They can't kill CTY. They don't really want to go on the Shadow Demon because he's here, and here comes SYDM. The backup has arrived. No level 6 on the Wisp just yet. Actually, only 4. So, well, the push top really slowing them down. They've spent a lot of time going for the tower. Delays the Wisp's level 6. I feel like it would have just been much better. Just leave the tier 1 up for a while, make it harder for Bounty Hunter to farm safely, and focus on getting your level 6 on Wisp. Instead, they don't have it. They're going on XTT now. He will be sprouted. Maybe they can kill him off here. He's going to get back to the safety of his tower. He doesn't have Windwalk for 5 seconds. He can salve up. The TP comes in. Night Stalker's arriving. Looking to go on Vodki. There's your slow. This is going to delay that level 6 even further. Some questionable decision-making from Rilimin, unfortunately. Getting picked off here and there, and now we're seeing T-Duck sprouted up in the trees. Wisp up in 8 seconds. Prophet could look to get out of here, maybe. No, not with an additional burst strike. He will die as well, so T-Duck gonna fall. And while this is happening, CTY picks up the tier 1 bottom. Almost has an armlet. 48 CS. Chaos Knight is farm, but the issue is they were running a defensive tri-lane Wisp with basically no pressure, and Wisp only level 4 at 8 minutes in.
Yeah, we're really harped up on the Wisp's levels, but let's not forget about Bounty Hunter's level. Once he hits 6, he's going to have a huge impact in this particular game. I mean, the lineup itself is already forcing a little bit of item differences coming out from the Chaos Knight. Normally going for treads, like you talked about, this particular game needs the phase speed, not for the extra damage, but mostly for the extra mobility to keep up with these heroes. Tether phase nearly puts him at 522, which is very, very helpful. But against Track Night Stalker, you really need that kind of investment in terms of item as well.
Well, Vodki not going back to farming stacks either with the Keeper of the Light, just kind of camping out top, protecting Cucks. I think they're a little bit worried about the ganks right now. I'm looking at the vision they have. They do have some lane wards up, Observer as well as Sentry's top lane, so I'm not sure how worried they need to be. Cucks with phase boots and a bracer is very hard to burst, and if you don't burst him, then your Illuminate can TP can come in, your Prophet ult can bounce through relatively soon once he hits 6. But for the moment, just delaying that level 6 for Vodki, it's looking like maybe 11 minutes or so by the time he gets that.
We'll see how much of an impact when that level 6 comes, because if you have a very, very late level 6, you know, the enemy team is going to have that bracer, extra bracer ready. They're going to have a full magic wand, so it's going to make these ganks even less effective. CTY, speaking of which, phase drum, so got the race car build already going. Mobility is everything, I feel like, in this game, and let's see whether both teams are going to be prepared for kind of high action back and forth game like this.
With a start like this, CTY can be the natural predator for that Wisp. You just basically pop your rage, open wounds, drums if she tries to tether away, and run her down and pick her off instantly. There won't be a cast bolt. There won't be any form of stun that goes through magic immunity, and he's already got max rage. So he's fast as lightning. He does a crap load of damage to the 0 armor Wisp, or yeah, still sitting at 0 armor with that awful agility gate of being a strength hero by nature. I think they could just continuously burst this Wisp down in the fights if they get the initiation going their way. We'll see. If the counter ganks are there for Rilimin, it could go their way, but I'm really liking Vici Gaming's positioning because Rilimin went for that tier 1 top, delayed the Wisp's level 6, and then overcommitted and gave her the death. Had they just farmed at this point, she'd be 6, and I think Vici Gaming would be a lot more scared than they are, but because of the way the game's developed, I'm thinking Vici Gaming, despite giving that Wisp a lot of levels, in a pretty decent position.
Yeah, I mean, the Dire also has to recognize that they are very, very powerful in terms of counter gaming. So Vici Gaming, if they dive a little bit deeper than they need to, Wrath of Nature comes in, Relocate plus CK comes in, and you're suddenly actually taking on 4 or 5. There's also Recall on top of this, so it doesn't really even matter who you gank. The entire team could be there in matters of seconds. So Vici Gaming have to recognize that. Don't overcommit, because if you overcommit, you're dying. You're not getting those track kills, and it could be pretty bad when a CK gets Snowball of his own.
Yeah, T-Duck not really farmed either. He's been sitting bottom lane. He's not getting a whole lot and not going to have that early mech that you look for when you're running this kind of lineup. That can make the difference. Jump in, give your CK a little bit of extra heal. Give him that additional heal, of course, coming through the tethered up Wisp. You can really bring him back basically to full HP in a matter of seconds. But the mech's going to be delayed, which I feel significantly neuters the strength of their lineup heading through the mid-game. The early death slowing him down, as well as just sitting in the offlane instead of maybe going to the jungle. Didn't really do a whole lot to shut down CTY's farm, that's for sure. He's sitting about 7 CS a minute right now, which isn't perfect, but for considering there's a Prophet in the lane disrupting the creep equilibrium, and they were diving him, pushing the tower, pretty much as good as you're going to get. So Well, a little bit of inefficiency from Rilimin. We have a prolonged pause right now, Lumi. 1,000 gold lead for Vici Gaming. 2,000 experience lead. I think that's the big thing right now. And haven't really fully come into their own yet. We haven't seen multiple hero track kills just yet, but they have the potential now with Bounty Hunter hitting 6.
Yeah, and more importantly, we're kind of deep into the nighttime, and Night Stalker maxing his Void and, of course, getting his points into Hunter in the night is going to be very, very effective. He unfortunately doesn't have a boots upgrade just yet, unless that's the courier. No, that's not. Yeah, he doesn't have the boots upgrade just yet, which is going to slow him down a little bit. But for the most part, the team is doing quite well. The 60 CS here on Lifestealer is going to be pretty big. You know, some of it was treants in lane, some of it was neutrals in the jungle, but for the most part, he's farming by far. He's leading the game. CK not too far behind though, and again, we're just waiting for level 6 before this team fight or before this game really break open.
I hope they're going to send the Keeper of the Light back towards the top lane and just quickly get Vodki level 6. We'll see what they do. He's parked mid for the moment because they're worried about the tower dives. The one thing Vici Gaming do have going for them is just the ability to dive past the tower and assassinate Lippy, and this is something that is really important when you're up against a hero like Keeper of the Light. You don't just want to push into his Illuminate. You basically want to backstab him, sideswipe him, face rush him, whatever you want to call it, and burst him down in a matter of seconds. And with these heroes, track the move speed and the tankiness of Leicester, and of course the Night Stalker's Void, which does big burst damage. If they catch this Keeper, he's going to die in a matter of seconds. So I think that'll be the key. It's going to be hard to push head on, but maybe we'll see them go for a smoke gank here. Currently, some good wards towards the bottom lane. Of course, it happened after that kill on the Queen of Pain, but... Or not that kill, but... Or actually, yeah, it was a kill on her, so... My brain is no longer remembering this game because we've had so many delays, and... Well, sitting at 1 and 2. She's been slowed down quite a bit. Lumi, how you holding up?
I'm doing great. Well, it's a little bit... The pauses are definitely not helping out for my excitement levels, but this is making to be interesting. We're seeing Wisp once again, very fun hero to cast. I think Keeper of Light, as powerful as a hero he normally is, I think his strength is going to be a little bit weaker in this particular game. You want him, you know, mostly for that tower defenses early on, but like you said, the ability to face rush him is going to be, you know, taking away a lot of his power. Also, I don't think Vici Gaming is really interested to actually do a push. They don't have a hero like Lone Druid. They don't have a support like Leshrac. So I think most of it is it's going to be a very Navi-esque style. They rush you at the tower, kill you, and then because they're up 2 or 3 heroes, and then they push you down. So in which case, Illuminate won't really be too useful in that instance. So, I mean, I think he should actually try to tank up, HP up, and basically hide. Because if they find him, they will kill him.
Well, he's trying to hide for now, but nothing is safe when Bounty Hunter's on the prowl. Well, guys, since it's been a prolonged pause, let's take a look at the brackets so you all have an idea of what's going on currently. Rilimin continues to have some ping difficulties, 700 to 1,000 ping on their player, the Nature's Prophet. I believe that's T-Duck, who keeps on disconnecting, reconnecting. But we are currently in Phase 2 of the G1 League's Asian qualifier, if you want to call it that. From this group, we start with 16 teams, and only 4 will emerge into Phase 3. MUFC, Rising Stars, the first 2 teams to advance on day number 1. Then, on day 2... sorry, Rising Stars. I meant Rattlesnake. On day number 2, it was Rising Stars on the Chain Stack who actually moved forward. For Love, and I think the biggest upset so far actually got knocked out. Myth Trust, a little surprising to see them lose, especially 2-0, as they've been a stalwart team for some time in Southeast Asia. But aside from that, most of the results expected. Then earlier today, we had an interesting game 2 between Neolucia International and LGD International. The game 2... basically a tour de force Queen of Pain, Pinoy-style performance, but Mr. Swish not able to do it over the course of the entire series. The draft a little bit weird. They end up dropping the series, so LGD is awaiting the winner of this best of 3. We won't move on to round 2 of Phase 2 until, I think, 2 days from now, because tomorrow, I think the most stacked group in the entire phase, really. The first Departure versus Zenith, that is just going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight between 2 top Singaporean teams, and then in the other side of the bracket, well, it's Tongfu, a very solid, kind of one step down from the top dogs in China team.
Yeah, but definitely, I mean, they train with a top Chinese team, so they definitely have seen it, and I think they're going to be playing at a pretty high level, despite of the games that we've even seen so far. So I think they're definitely better than Vici Gaming, for example. So if you think Vici Gaming is good, Tongfu going to be up there too.
Maybe not as sexy though. Tongfu is more of like your quiet discipline, like we'll take home the win, but we're not going to make you cheer with excitement like the CTY, Mask of Madness, Shadowblade, Rush throws, EG style play, just feeding Aegis's way to the other team. Well, they make it interesting, win or lose.
Throws makes for exciting games. Let's just leave it at that.
Doesn't make for championships, though.
It does not.
Well, Lumi, if you want some coffee, you can make some. I know what happened to you yesterday, man.
I mean, no, I'm okay. As long as Vichy Gaming takes this one, then we should be good. If not, then we might need that coffee.
I'm just gonna stuff your head into a vat of coffee and Red Bull. I'm just gonna, like, every caffeine source, I'm just gonna mix them up and basically give you a swirly.
I'm gonna be sent to the hospital after that. Then.
Yeah, no, I don't want you to go to the hospital, but I just want you to stay awake, man. That's all.
Quite awake for now. Though the viewers probably not awake because this damn long pause.
Yeah, guys, thanks for your patience. My apologies for the prolonged delay. Of course, it's out of our control over here at the house. So, well, Lumi, what can we talk about now? Any animes that you want to tell the people about? Anything that they've been missing? I notice you haven't done any Facebook updates lately on your viewing habits.
Too busy, really. Actually, I think it would be a good time to talk about Beyond the Summit and what's in store after the studio. I mean, I don't even know that much what's going on with the studio, so...
That's not true. You keep on saying
I
that. I
definitely know more than the viewers, but...
So basically, we've ordered a lot of equipment. We still have a few things that we haven't finalized yet. Some of it's on the way. Some of it's scheduled to be shipped out in the next few days. And we're at the point now where we start looking for furniture, basically getting the room itself ready in preparation for the equipment arriving. I imagine it's probably going to be 2 or 3 weeks at a bare minimum before everything's actually set up or even ready for some test runs, but it'll be something that sort of evolves over time. Long term, we look to have basically a complete computer graphics solution. For the gear nerds out there, that's how we'll do things like overlays and cool transitions. It's how the GD Studio is doing sort of their stats and all those extra little transitions you see. So that won't be ready necessarily off the bat. We may have to use XSplit at first, but the cameras, the video mixer, the soundboard, the microphones, the production PC, the caster PCs, all the basics of the setup will most likely be getting in and basically getting ready over the next 2 to 3 weeks. The computer graphics stuff may be looking more like 1, 2, maybe even 3 months out, as it's something that we'll probably have to hire a programmer for and take a little bit longer to set up properly. But you'll start to see the makings of the studio soon, and even before that, we're going to be doing some video tours. We'll be doing some vlogs once we have something to show you guys. We've held off on that because we've had a very busy casting schedule. We've had some, well, sort of issues researching and selecting the right equipment, but getting closer and closer to the studio, and of course, not just the studio that's interesting, but I imagine you guys might be interested in our coverage plans. Right now, it's G1 League, it's We Play Dota 2 League as sort of our 2 main events for Asia and for Europe, North America. Of course, we also have the GEST going on. We Play action will continue this weekend. It'll start on Saturday and run through to Sunday. It's basically every weekend for the next 6 to 8 weeks or so. Phase 1 of We Play, 32 teams start, only 16 emerge from that. That'll be done in about 3 weeks' time. So looking a while out before that really heats up, but just something to look forward to each weekend if you want your North American, European fix. And, well, I could keep on talking, Lumi, but I don't want to bore them to tears with the sound of my own voice.
I mean, I'm looking forward towards the studio being set up, and the viewers, of course, I think they're looking forward to those VODs as well. They want to know exactly where they put their money to, whether it's gods buying the car or actually computers and stuff, but we'll talk about that later, as we finally get some Dota on our hands.
Yep, we have it on pause here, so back to the game, just to sort of give everyone a situation report. 1,000 gold lead right now for the Radiant, 3 Hero Smoke, heading all the way towards top lane. The Face Rush will now get on the move, and of course the 2,000 experience lead. So Vichy Gaming leading this series 1-0, in fantastic position to take the series with a strong start, and the enemy Wisp, well, Lumi, it looks like this level 6 is going to be delayed just a bit more. Smoke will dispel, Vodka in the front lines, he's got the invis, or XTT in the front line, so this is just the deadest Wisp you'll ever see. Even with the tether away, no chance. Down he goes, and they want more. They want Cucks. They're going to die for this. I hear a Prophet ult bouncing through. Actually, not connecting on anything for the looks of things. Just hit creeps. The track on Cucks. The tower dive is there. The Illuminate hitting 3. Not really that much damage, though. It's only level 2. Cucks now being dove by a wild CTY. He shows up, mans up, looks to bring him down. The wand being popped. Not quite enough yet. On the backlights, it's Fenrir. Still alive. T-Duck trying to TP out. That'll be canceled. He joins the fight. He takes a fall. And the tankiness and the chasing power of Vichy Gaming, something you talked about, really paying off here. We're going to see another go. Queen of Pain jumps into the middle of the entire enemy team. That's a 4-hero scream, but now maybe death. This haste rune will wear off. Illuminate being channeled. Not going to connect. Barely missing. When it's all said and done, 2 for nothing. Or 2 for 1, actually. Sand King going down there in the end.
2 for 1, but those 2 were 2 track kills for the entire team. So level 1 track gives 50 gold to allies and 150 to Bounty himself. If you want to do the math, that's 350
Additional
×2.
gold. Additional gold.
Additional gold over the whatever gold bonus you get. So 350 times, they just made 700 gold for free above what they got. So that's insane.
Yeah, basically they're getting filthy rich off of that. And crucially, Wisp died. Vodkey's level 6 further and further delayed. And I mean, Lumi, it's, you know, I don't like to rub it in, but you got to go back to the decision to force the issue top, the overextension. He would have been 6 before all of this began had they just been a little more patient, but they really wanted to abuse that Keeper of the Light being of the trial and get the early tier 1, and so they were, I think, showing a little more patience, waiting until Wisp is 6, and then going for the pushes could have paid off. Of course, hindsight's 20/20, but it's not looking so good for this Wisp. Even when she hits 6, she's very squishy, can easily be burst down, just hits it now. Let's see what they can make happen with these first few relocate ganks.
I think the first few relocate ganks mostly going to be used defensively. Talked about the ability of the Dire team to help out each other. And of course, I don't think you really want to set up a gank during nighttime against the Night Stalker as well. Maybe they wait for the daytime, get a couple more levels on the zero, get a couple more core items, and then you try to go for those safe opening picks. Because right now, San Diego's, he's kind of too big. You really don't want to rush him. He's got the face, he's attacking for a grit, and Queen of Pain perhaps might be in a little bit of trouble right now.
Yeah, she's on the run. SYDM driving Yumu way off of the lane, and with this basically pushback, they're gonna look to dive. There's your silence. There's the Urn charge, or not the silence, actually holding it. Now gonna deploy it. Already saw that blink. I think the Urn might be enough. Bottling up through it though. In comes the Wisp relocate gank. Like you said, use it defensively. SYDM will overextend. He will take a fall. And now on to XTT, who could be in trouble. They need a reality rift here. They need a tether stun. They'll find it. This could be 2 kills. The Queen of Pain ultimate. Oh no, not gonna hit. Wisp still alive. Or rather, Bounty Hunter still alive. CK getting manned up upon. SCTTY doing the big damage. Another tether stun. Vodkey living through it all for the moment, and I hear an Epicenter. Onto the Nature's Prophet they'll go. He'll try to TP out. Looks like it'll be one auto attack too slow with that, and he'll take a fall. Another man up, but Leicester really the perfect hero to counter this. Now just diving, and he's got a medallion. All about this mid-game aggression for CTY. All about finding those track kills. When it's all said and done, still more of a gold advantage going for Vici Gaming and Experience their way as well.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Rio's trying to stem that bleeding with a relocate. And look at how effective that counter gank was. I think they even came a little bit later than they could have. The reaction rate was a little bit too slow. But CK Wisp came in, and suddenly the fight, you know, it was a lot closer than what it could have been. But track kills is just putting Vici Gaming very, very much so ahead. But it's daytime now, so if the Dire team wants to do a little bit more of a global aggression of their own, they can. With Nature's Prophet, Wrath of Nature, look at him. He's very close to that mech as well. After just one more CS, he's going to have it. So I don't count Rio out yet. I think this is time for them to make that comeback, if there is one.
Yeah, if they're going to make one, it's got to be soon. The one concern for me is Chaos Knight, the only hero who can jump in first, but they have heroes to basically instantly lock him down and bring him down. With the Life Stealer, of course, who doesn't care about the CK Wisp combo as long as he's in rage form, and just the one, I feel like one Burrow Strike and then the follow-up initiation might be enough to kill him off instantly. He's got to live through the initial barrage. They're going to need multiple tether stuns to win these fights. Let's see if they can find it. The tower dive will happen top. Vodkey, the obvious target here. Prophet ult bounces through. Sentry wards are there. Now Cuck's going to turn this around. There's your nice long-range cast pull, but look at how fast he melts that medallion, bringing him low. Nothing he can do against CTY on the backlines. Queen of Pain looking to make a difference here. It looks like the bait maybe going to be successful. No scream. No scream. Gets away. Oh no, just a second late there. Your tether stun. Not quite going to happen. Now a blink forward from Queen of Pain. CTY still running. Still surviving. Going to man up on this Wisp. Tether on cooldown. No way out except for a Sprout. And it looks like that'll be enough. He'll actually live because of that. So when it's all said and done, 2 for 2, I didn't see if there were any track kills there.
There were a couple. Basically the entire team was tracked up, and you can see the benefit of you having your track on your team. That was a daytime fight. They traded 2 for 2. CK had buyback. I was a little bit surprised that he didn't buyback. It's not that bad of a buyback. Only 400 gold, and really could have turned the fight around. But still, not exactly a bad loss. The power of the mech not there. It wasn't delivered, so I think that's why they really lost that fight. But the next couple of fights should be a lot better now.
Yeah, this could make a big difference, especially if that Chaos Knight is actually tethered up to the Wisp. That's a lot of instant burst heal, and Vici Gaming, a lineup that does depend on bursting heroes down. Rilimin, I think, are going to have the big advantage in the prolonged engagements, because they're going to have multiple tether stuns, multiple reality rift Chaos Bolt combos, and that's where they can look to get ahead. So if they can keep their Chaos Knight alive through that initial barrage, they'll have a better shot, and the mechanism's something that can definitely give him that extra boost. The BKB will be the big thing for him. I feel like not the entire game necessarily, but most of their momentum is going to rely on, can he find that BKB relatively quickly? Currently, checking the dire vision, the one thing that concerns me is they're running CK Wisp, but they don't have a whole lot. They're going to go top right now on XTT. T-Dog actually TPing away. He's going to cancel that. The relocate really far away from the fight, and it looks like Profit forced the TP out. They're both going to have to stay tethered and just basically look to run away, so that relocate gank not too successful in the end.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It really forced out nighttime from San Diego, but for the most part, they're looking for these relocates to basically get free kills, and because relocate is down now, I don't think they can actually even defend that tier 1 tower. You gotta just have to drop some towers for free, and maybe even look forward to a trade. Only FY's in the mid lane to defend that one. Here it comes, the Quap, nice self-disruption, immediate TP from XT. Can you actually burst down FY? Apparently not, and looks like there's a big mech coming in and healing just about everybody up. FY trying to survive, they gotta get that kill quick, they do, but let's see how much damage can XT do. Oh, looks like the Wisp could actually tether to an ally. Where's his team? He does tether to the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain actually really underestimating tether range, and because of that, Vichy Gaming is going to get a free kill. Look at that.
This race car lifestealer, he really is fast as lightning, man. Just scrambling along the ground. Hither there, just hither thither. Way too fast to actually run away from. That was a tethered Wisp. Doesn't even matter. Gets the kill. Now diving. Our Keeper of the Light top. Is there going to be a stun in time? The Burrow Strike just... Wow, he almost two-shotted that Keeper of the Light.
It was going to be a 3-shot kill with that Armlet. Armlet Lifestealer, something that I've not seen before, but if you think about it...
Wait, what? Never seen Armlet
Lifestealer? No, sorry. Medallion Lifestealer.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Something a little bit more unique, but if you think about that, it really makes perfect sense in this game. Because heroes are moving very, very quickly, you want to kill as quickly as possible. And Medallion, well, not only does it help yourself kill quick, it helps your allies as well. It has a really nice interaction with Feast, obviously. Increased Feast damage output, and of course it makes Bounty Hunter do more, it makes Night Stalker do more, so it makes complete sense in this game.
And it just fits their tempo, which is fight now, get the cheap, cost-effective items. We didn't see that Midas, we didn't see any sort of a late-game build. It's all about the mid-game, constantly finding track kills. They're looking to go top. Open Wounds will be here. Lippy in a bit of a pickle. Relocate's coming in from behind them, but the Burrows to start, Lippy to fall. Now the follow-up. There's your CK Wisp combo. Braiding Fenrir fairly low, but on the back lines. Oh no, Wisp's been driven away. Will probably go down. There's your tether. Maybe gonna live, but T-Duck's already popped the mech. They'll get the kill. Now Queen of Pain on the run. Chaos Knight just running for the hills while his team gets massacred on the sidelines. They just don't have the burst to deal with this Lifestealer. He's still at half HP after the entire combo was already used.
I feel like they needed something like a Beastmaster Roar, some very reliable way to really lock down. And you can see that a CK runs in and be like, yo, bro, you're in the wrong side of the map right now. Turns around, free kill. Lippy comes in. Lippy, you're also on the wrong side of the map. He's got the Gold Scepter, so he might survive this.
It's a feeding frenzy, Lumi. Oh, man.
Gold Scepter making it survivable, but there's a Purge on top. And real in the last couple of minutes, I felt like on the first daytime, or on the second daytime, they have to play it very, very carefully. And that did not happen, and now look at the kill difference. That track is just making the Dire bleed so much.
Goodness gracious. The gold graph, I actually thought it would be even worse than this, but it's about to get a lot worse, as they're going to get a tower top. We're looking at like a 6K gold lead, and about to be 1,000 more or so with this tower hitting the ground. And their turf is extending as well. You run CK Wisp, you run Prophet, you run this global mobile lineup. You want to have all the lanes pushed and wards all over the map. You don't want to be basically playing in the dark. Sure, you can counter gank, but while you're waiting for those counter gank opportunities, your opponents are pushing and farming all over the map, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. And even if you get a kill or two, I feel like you still fall behind in the end, just because Vichy Gaming can farm pretty much everywhere and starve you out. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of the way this game is developed really comes down to some of those early decisions, like not prioritizing the level 6 on the Wisp enough. Not that they can't come back, but it gets so much harder now because CK Wisp is all about bursting heroes down quickly and basically smoothly, and who's an easy kill at this point? Even a hero like Sand King, 900 health, there's always disruption. The other three are quite tanky.
Yeah, again, Wisp, if you have a late level 6, not only those ganks come later and thus you're not going to get as many kills, but more importantly, the enemy heroes are getting bracers, they're getting extra HP, they're getting levels, and that's going to make those kills a lot harder as well. Nice double damage is going to allow them to actually walk into this Roche pit and start working on it. That Medallion Courage also doing a lot of work there as well. And I think they don't even need to give the Aegis to CTY, although I think that they will. Reaver is going to be on top. And this guy, just unkillable at this point.
He actually bought an Eagle Sun, and I was excited for some next level Ethereal Blade action on Lifesteal, or the Butterfly even, but no, he's going to go for something that obviously is going to be a great pickup. I imagine it'll be the Heart of Tarascan. With this, you're just not going to die to the CK Wisp, because what does CK have? A BKB and drums? That's not nearly enough damage to bring you down. More importantly, he doesn't have his level 16. He's nowhere near it, so we're not going to see Kux having those 4 illusions. And if you live through that initial barrage, you infest inside a creep, you man up, and you find kills with that open wounds healing you up along with the feast. They're going to go right now on Queen of Pain. 2 shots and a kill. Easy peasy. Looking at the tower. And it feels like it's all falling apart here for Rilimin in what could be their final moments in the G1 League.
Yeah, I mean, Vichy Gaming just look unstoppable at this point. Another, oh, looks like a little bit of action happening on the bot lane. TP back out. Oh, but T-Duck.
No Void yet. Now the Void. Smart to be patient with that one. And now the Purge. There is a disruption. He will try to TP out, but will be disrupted and should take a fall after these messages. The poison ticks. The kill comes in. Meanwhile, top lane, they are going to force probably some sort of rotation back. Prophet and Queen of Pain on the sidelines, but Rilimin doing what they can to stall this game. They're going to have to stall for a very long time, though, as CTY is continuing to find kills all over the map. Lippy going to go Scepter, but you can't TP out of this one. There's your reality, or rather your relocate. Can they actually find an opening to go on CTY? They're going to have to burst him quick. There's your Chaos Bolt. Remember, he's got the Aegis, the Tether Stun, not running around for one, and now he's going to rage. He's going to pop out, but Bounty Hunter finds the pick-off, kills off that Keeper of the Light while it was all happening, and the relocate basically for naught.
Yeah, and also they didn't leave the CK behind because the CK was not able to take even that low HP Lifestealer. Armlet Toggle would have just made that fight even look ridiculous. But here comes the CK second time. Rage is available. Is he going to be popping it just yet? Oh, here comes the Sun. He's got the Aegis, so he should be fine. And here we go. The track will begin. XTT gets one track. He's still looking for that Wisp as well. There you go. Make sure you see both of them. And here comes that Night Stalker. BKB gets popped. Phantasm used. They want to turn this around. And, well,
I don't think he can. He's dead.
Turn that one around. And here we go. Wisp 3-shot, 4-shot. Tether didn't actually help out. His allies needed to get further away. T-Duck joining the party, but T-Duck about to get sent back to wherever ducks go. Is there a duck cemetery?
He's peeking duck now.
Yeah.
He's done, man. I don't know. That's scary when your CK pops reality or pops his Phantasm as well as his BKB, and then Lifestealer just says, I'm going to kill you anyway. Walks right up to your army of 3 illusions, just 3 shots you from about, I don't know, a quarter HP, which doesn't sound that bad, but considering it's a freaking Chaos Knight, who's one of the tankiest heroes in the game, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, and of course that Aegis coming to good effects. He's going to have a Heart finish very, very soon. Is that the courier flying to the secret shop? Yes, it is. It's also delivering it to a BKB to, I would imagine, a Night Stalker, who just got picked off, but no big deal. Heart is going to put in, what, 2,300 HP with massive life regen. And
he's going to have over 3k, I think, once he's toggling this armlet. It'll be real close. Here he goes. Man's up mid. Goes on to Vodki. Tracked up. 3 kills. 3 auto attacks. The Medallion really suiting this strategy. I mean, you mentioned it as unorthodox, but like you said, I think it really fits the way they're trying to play this game, and something you don't normally see on Lifestealer, but in this game, a pretty fantastic choice.
Yep. I mean, we talked about this as the EG of the East, but this game, they mean business. No misplay I've seen from the most part, and they're just getting out of control.
I don't know if they had their food and now they're not cranky anymore. Top lane onto T-Duck. Some auto attacks coming out, but he needs to save that Void to cancel a TP here. Actually, he does it because there's no teleport scroll. There's your track. This is a dead Nature's Prophet. T-Duck rin around the Ruzi, but in the end, roasted duck. Just a buffet for VG Gaming. And like you said, they definitely seem a lot more stable in this game 1, or in game 2. And game 1 looked quite sloppy, to put it mildly, even though they took the win. And this is Lippy basically getting 3-shotted. He tries to TP out, but of course that does cancel Ghost Scepter. Teleport scrolls do, and, well, an easy kill.
Did have access into his blind. I'm not sure if that would help in conjunction with the Ghost Scepter.
There's still rage, so yeah, I don't think it would have made a difference. It's just the scary time, fast times at Vichy Gaming High, and Rilimin not quite able to keep up.
Well, Vichy Gaming would basically seal the deal. There's a glyph to delay the push, but the push is coming fast and hard.
Here comes the Phantasm backstab. Maybe they can burst the Shadow Demon down. Oh no, he gets the disruption off. Late on the Phantasm, I feel. Now gets burrowed, doesn't pop the BKB. Kux, maybe not quite prepared, loses about half HP before the fight begins. Now being purged, being focused, being brought down. The big bad CK, no longer so scary. And now they're looking at the racks. Well, maybe look at a few more kills first. There's your Void on T-Duck. No commitment yet. Now here comes the commitment as Rage comes off cooldown. Can they eat their way into this Sprout? Doesn't look like it. Burrow Strike catches 2. Prophet to fall as well. And now Queen of Pain. Silence looked to blink away. Could not do so. 4 heroes dead, and the end times have come.
Well, I think that's all she wrote.
Yeah, I don't see them coming back at this point. They're down about 20k, about 25k gold. A few more fountain camps. Rilimin in their final moments of the G1 League. Lumi, what do you think about this LGD International versus Vici Gaming matchup? You cast the last one they played in the GST Challenge. CTY had that great game 1 with the explosive Shadow Fiend performance, but games 2 and 3, they got kind of shut down. These two teams are going to butt heads again. Who's your money on? What are going to be the keys to the game for Vici Gaming, who I imagine you will have as the underdogs?
Yeah, I think LGD definitely has my money, basically because they're more experienced of a team, but more importantly, they actually matches quite well against Vici Gaming. Vici Gaming likes to snowball out of control, and of course LGN likes to beat you at minute 1, minute 2. And Vici Gaming does usually lose at minute 1, minute 2, and you never get that snowball happening. So thus, LGD Gaming gets my money on that one.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe Vici Gaming goes for a bit of a different style, but if they play that same style and LGDM play their same style, then I'd have to agree with you. I feel like it's a more suitable matchup for them than some of the other teams in China who are, you know, fine playing defensive Dota, who don't feel a need to go aggressive and can just beat Vici Gaming late. But this is the lineup that, well, if Vici Gaming gets shut down early, not really a team that's a scary mid-game. Their decision-making isn't on the level of a team like IG or DK or LGD China yet. So we will see. But for now, I think it's safe to say CTY, if there was a fantasy league for this tournament, should be on your fantasy teams because he's playing like a boss.
He is really playing like a boss. And that player that went like 80 billion and won on that quap, he should be on your team
Mr.
too, but he's out.
Swish.
Mr. Question Mark.
Yeah, Mr. Swish, of course, the old Dustbin Gaming Heroes of Neworth teammate of Ninja Boogie. These two have been on and off for a while. They break up, they get back together, but they always put on a show for the viewers. Unfortunately, they are also going home, so any minute now I imagine the game will actually end. But while we're waiting for it to end, Lumi, let's take a look at the brackets and talk about what we have coming up tomorrow. First Departure versus Zenith, followed by Tongfu versus Neolution Thailand. What do you think about those matches? Looking at First Departure, a team that has taken games off Zenith in the past. From what I've heard, Zenith has been practicing a lot, have been scrimming against the likes of Invictus Gaming. They've been playing against the top teams from China. It's going to be a hard matchup, I feel, for First Departure. But First Departure, on the back of Miracle's anti-mage and split push shenanigans, has taken games off Zenith in the past. So Singaporean blood will be shed in that game. That'll be the first match of our doubleheader tomorrow. What do you think about that?
Well, I have very little experience casting both of those teams, so it's going to be a learning experience for me, hopefully watching or casting those games. So nothing really for me to contribute to that one in particular.
All right, I'm going to say I think Zenith on the back of their more practice as of late. Zenith, the team that was not practicing a whole lot over the past few months, but has really started to pick it up from what Ice has been telling me, what Winter has been telling me. So I imagine they're going to cruise on that series. First Departure plays one pretty much singular style. They play it beautifully. It's the 4 Protect 1 with Miracle. A hard 4 Protect 1 in a day when not many teams run it. But my money's on them. The other series, Neolution Thailand, a team that could surprise, a team that's taking games off of some very solid teams. Hasn't beaten the top teams, but I could see them taking a game off Tongfu. I do not see them winning the series. So I imagine by the time tomorrow's done, we'll be looking at MUC, Rattlesnakes, Rising Stars, Chain Stack, LGD International, Vici Gaming, and then, of course, Zenith and Tongfu is our final 8. But from those, only 4 emerge and move on to Phase 3. Guys, thank you all for tuning in. That wraps it up for today's G1 League coverage. We'll start the rebroadcast now. But with all that being said, I'm LD. He's Luminous. We're signing off. We'll see you tomorrow when the G1 League continues and Phase 2, Round 1 is going to wrap up. If you enjoy our cast, you want to follow us, twitter.com/LuminousInverse, twitter.com/LDDota. And, of course, as always, be sure to check out the G1 League website. They have some awesome interviews out. That's g1.2p.com. Have a great night, guys. We'll talk to you later.